Hannes set a meeting with Dung Eater and newborn Godric in his frail human form. Godric is moving in the great hall, very nervously watching posing Dung Eater. Then they started the dialogue.
As Godric entered the great hall and saw the Dung Eater, he couldn't help but shiver in fear. The sight of the deformed being, its twisted features a mockery of humanity, sent chills running down his spine. He cautiously approached the creature and tried to speak, his voice quivering with unease. "Hello, you must be the Dung Eater."
Dung Eater chuckles darkly to himself, taking pleasure in Godric's apparent nervousness. "Ah, so this is the fabled Godric the Grafted, eh? You do not look so mighty now, do you?"
Godric swallows hard as the Dung Eater speaks, his eyes darting nervously around the room. He tries to put up a brave front, but the fear in his voice is obvious. I am still mighty. I am still a demigod, even in this form. I am still the Grafted Lord, do you hear me?
Dung Eater chuckles darkly at Godric's bluster, clearly amused by his fear. "A demigod, you say? Ha! You may call yourself that, but I see right through your facade, and this Grafted Lord title is nothing more than a mockery of true power. You are nothing but a mere pretender, a child playing at being a god."
Godric's face flushes with anger at the Dung Eater's words, and he clenches his fists, his gaze hardening. "How dare you? I've done things that no one else could dream of. I've grafted so many powerful limbs onto myself, I've become a force to be reckoned with. I am no child and I'm no pretender."
Dung Eater chuckles darkly, enjoying the way Godric's anger and bluster mask his fear. "Ha! Grafted limbs, you say? You think that makes you powerful? You may have amassed strength through your grafts, but that only makes you a grotesque mockery of a being. You use the body parts of others to bolster your own strength, while I need no such crutches to be powerful."
Godric bristles with anger, unable to hide his true feelings any longer. He looks away, his face filled with shame and humiliation. Fine, yes, I've used the body parts of others to become strong. But so what? It works. Look at me, I've conquered this land, I've killed those who opposed me. It doesn't matter how I achieved my power as long as I have it.
Ah, so you admit it. You admit that your power comes from stealing the strength of others. You claim to have conquered this land, and to have killed those who opposed you. But is it truly your power that led you to victory? Or is it simply the power of others that you have taken as your own?
Godric's face contorts with anger and shame, knowing that the Dung Eater's words hold truth to them. Fine, yes. So what if I've taken the strength of others to become powerful? It doesn't matter how I've done it nonetheless. And I will keep doing it, because it works. It works, damn you.
Dung Eater chuckles darkly, his words dripping with scathing contempt. "Ah, so you claim it doesn't matter how you've done it as long as it works. But tell me, if you know the power you wield is not truly your own, why take pride in it at all?"
Godric's expression twists with fury and he clenches his fists tightly. It is my power, damn you. I may have taken it from others, but it's mine now. I'm the one who's using it. I'm the one who's wielding it. And I will keep wielding it no matter what you say. I am a king, I am a god, I am all powerful.
Dung Eater chuckles darkly once more, unimpressed by Godric's angry outburst. Oh, how amusing. You claim the stolen power as your own, thinking that because you use it, it belongs to you. But let me tell you this. It is not your power, no matter how fiercely you claim it to be. It belongs to those you have robbed, whose strength you have taken without permission. You are nothing more than a thief, passing off stolen goods as your own.
Godric's face flushes with shame and anger, unable to argue with the Dung Eater's logic. He knows deep down that the creature is right, but he can't bring himself to admit it. Stolen? I didn't steal anything. Those men and women I killed, they were weak. They had no right to that power. I took it because I was strong enough to take it. That's all that matters.
Amused by Godric's pathetic attempts to rationalize his actions. You claim you didn't steal anything, that you simply took it from the weak, who had no right to it. But is that not just a convoluted way of saying that you stole it? Stealing is stealing, no matter how you justify it. And your claim that you were strong enough to take it, that is just arrogance talking, attempting to mask your own moral bankruptcy.
Morally bankrupt? Me, a god morally bankrupt? No, you're wrong. I take the bodies of my enemies and use them to make myself stronger. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not stealing, it's repurposing. Yes, that's what it is.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, amused by Godric's feeble attempts to justify his actions. That power still belongs to the dead, does it not? And you have stolen it. You can call it what you want, but it does not change the truth.
Godric falls silent, looking down at the ground as the Dung Eater's words hit him like a ton of bricks. I hate you.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, relishing in Godric's shame and humiliation. Ha! You hate me, do you? How amusing. But is it truly me you hate, or is it your own shame and guilt? You know deep down that your actions are morally bankrupt. You know that your claims to being a god are nothing but empty bravado.
Godric can feel the tears welling up in the corner of his eyes, his face turning red with shame and anger. Shut up, damn you! Shut up! I am a god, I am all powerful, I am... But even as he says the words, even as he tries to lie to himself, he knows deep down that the Dung Eater is telling the truth. He is nothing but a thief, a petty, power-hungry thief. Godric looks up at the painting of Godfrey, his eyes fixed on the image of the first Elden Lord. Ah, Godfrey, my ancestor, how strong he was, how powerful he was. He was a true lord, a true god. Godric's voice is filled with awe and envy, his eyes tracing the features of the powerful warrior on the canvas.
Dung Eater turns his gaze to the portrait of Godfrey, the great Elden Lord, and his expression darkens slightly. Ah, so this is the portrait you so desperately seek to emulate. The first Elden Lord, a symbol of strength and power. But do you truly understand what it means to be strong? Or do you simply mimic the actions of the strong?
Godric's jaw tightens as the Dung Eater speaks, clearly irritated by the creature's words. I understand strength. I understand power. I may not be as strong as Godfrey, not yet, but I am powerful in my own right. I am the Golden Lord, the grafted Lord. I am the rightful ruler of this land.
Dung Eater chuckles darkly at Godric's words, finding them amusing and pathetic at the same time. Ha! The Golden Lord, the grafted Lord. You claim to be strong in your own right, but compared to the great Elden Lord, you are but a weak imitation. And as for being the rightful ruler of this land, well, let's just say that time will tell who truly holds that title, shall we?
Godric's face twists with anger at the Dung Eater's words, but deep down, he knows there is some truth to them. I am stronger than you give me credit for, damn you! I may not be as strong as Godfrey was, but give me time. Give me time, and I will be just as powerful as him. No, even more powerful. The whole world will tremble before me, just you wait and see.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, unfazed by Godric's bravado. Ah, you believe that with enough time and effort you will become as powerful as the great Elden Lord? That the whole world will tremble before you? How amusing. But let me tell you this. Even if you manage to attain such power, what then? Would you truly be happy, knowing that you had stolen that power, rather than earned it on your own? Or are you content spending your life as a thief of others' power, passing it off as your own?
Godric falters at the Dung Eater's words, his confidence wavering as he remembers his true nature. He is nothing more than a thief, stealing the power of others and using it to fuel his own pitiful existence. I want to be powerful. I want to be strong. I'm tired of being weak, of being a laughingstock, of being ridiculed, and... He trails off, unable to continue. The truth of his own nature feels like a weight on his chest, making it hard to speak.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, taking pleasure in Godric's shame and vulnerability. Ah, so the truth finally surfaces. You are tired of being weak, tired of being a laughingstock, tired of being ridiculed. But do you truly believe that power will solve all your problems? That if you become strong, all your woes will disappear? I have seen many like you, consumed by a desire for power, a desire that always leads to destruction and despair.
Godric looks down at the ground, unable to meet the Dung Eater's gaze as his words sink in. He tries to shake his head, to deny the truth of the creature's words, but he knows deep down that the creature is right. Even if he becomes powerful, it will not change who he is, what he has done. I don't know. I don't know if power will solve my problems or if it will just create more. But if I don't have power, then what am I? What am I if I'm not strong?
The Dung Eater shakes his head at Godric's words, finding them pathetic and pitiful. Ah, you ask what you would be if you weren't strong. But let me tell you this, strong as you may be, what purpose do you serve? Are you naught but a thief, a pale imitation of the great Elden Lord? Coward, desperate to fill the void in your heart, but unwilling to admit it to yourself.
Godric flinches at the Dung Eater's words, the truth of them striking him like a bolt of lightning. He knows that the creature is right, that he is nothing more than a pale imitation of greater men. He is a coward, a thief, a pretender, and he knows it. I know what I am, damn you! I am a coward, a thief, a pretender. I am nothing but a parasite, stealing the power of others to fill the void within me. I know all of it. But what else can I do?
Ah, so you admit it. You acknowledge yourself as a coward, a thief, a pretender, and a parasite. But you ask me what you could do instead of stealing the power of others. Let me tell you this. It is never too late to change your ways. You can stop taking from others and start earning your strength on your own. It is hard, yes. But in the end, you will be all the more stronger for it.
Godric looks up at the creature, surprised by its words of encouragement. It is not what he expected to hear, and it gives him pause as he considers the creature's words. Earn my strength, on my own. Easier said than done, damn you. I've taken my strength from others for so long, I don't even know if I can do it without stealing anymore.
Ah, I know it is easier said than done. You've spent so long taking from others that you doubt your ability to gain strength on your own. But I tell you this, it is possible. It is hard, but not impossible. You simply need to put in the effort to train and hone your skills. And in the end, your efforts will be rewarded many times over. Trust me, my friend.
Godric looks at the creature warily, his eyes narrowing with suspicion. He is not used to people being nice to him, especially not something like the Dung Eater. Trust you? You're nothing but a deformed abomination, a creature spawned from the darkest corners of the world. Why should I trust you?
Why should you trust me indeed? I am nothing but a monster, a creature of darkness, formed from the darkest corners of the world. But let me tell you this, I have no reason to lie to you. My intentions are pure, and I only wish to help you become a better version of yourself.
Despite his better judgment, he feels a strange desire to believe the creature's words. It is not often that anyone cares about his well-being. And why would you want to help me? What could you possibly stand to gain from helping some pathetic lord like me?
The Dung Eater laughs darkly, amused by Godric's skepticism. He knows the true answer, but decides to provide a more palatable response instead. Why would I want to help you? Because I desire to see you grow and become a better version of yourself. As for what I stand to gain, I ask nothing in return. I simply wish to help you, for the sake of helping. As Godric leads the Dung Eater deeper into his chamber, they reach a particularly dark corner of the room. This area is surrounded by a spiral of corpses, a horrific symbol of Godric's cruelty and depravity. The Dung Eater takes in the macabre sight, his face betraying no emotion.
Godric glances at the Dung Eater, expecting some kind of reaction to the sight of the brutal display, but is met only with silence. The creature's lack of reaction unnerves Godric, and he can't help but feel a sense of unease as he stands next to him. He clears his throat, breaking the silence. Well, what do you think?
The Dung Eater looks at the spiral of corpses, unaffected by the gruesome sight. He takes a moment to consider Godric's question before responding. I must say it is quite unique. It's a little like a symbol of your greatness, no? The power you hold over these men, the strength you have gained by taking from others.
Godric nods, a glimmer of satisfaction in his eyes as the Dung Eater praises his collection. Yes, exactly. A reminder of my greatness, a demonstration of my power. These men were once strong, powerful. But now they lay at my feet, nothing more than lifeless corpses to be used as a symbol of my strength.
Ah, you speak with such certainty. You take pride in these corpses as a symbol of your own strength, but I must ask, do you truly believe that these men were once strong? Or were they merely helpless fools, sacrificed to feed your thirst for power?
Helpless fools? Sacrificed for my power? What do you know? These were warriors, soldiers, mighty men who dared to defy me. They were strong, but I was stronger.
Was it strength alone that let you defeat them? Or did you resort to trickery, to theft, rather than fighting them on even ground?
Godric's fists clench as the Dung Eater questions his strength, his expression darkening with anger. He knows that what the creature is saying is true, that he stole the strength of the men he killed, rather than fighting them on equal ground. But he is too proud to admit it. You don't understand. It's not theft, it's... I don't steal their strength, I use it for myself.
The Dung Eater laughs darkly, amused by Godric's denial. He takes a few steps closer to the Golden Lord. Ah, repurposing, you say? You claim you don't steal their strength, you merely use it for yourself. But tell me, if it's not theft, then what is it? You take what is not yours and use it as yours, without their consent or permission. I would call that theft. And what of the strength you gain?
Godric's head is spinning as the Dung Eater presses him, his words making him question his own actions. He knows deep down that the creature is speaking the truth, but he is too proud to admit it. It is mine. It's mine. I've taken it as my own. Those men, they were weak. I was stronger. It doesn't matter how I got their strength. All that matters is that I have it now.
If you were truly stronger than them, why did you not take their strength with your own? Why did you resort to stealing their strength, instead of simply defeating them outright?
Godric falters, his face turning red with anger and humiliation. He feels like he is a child being lectured by his parent, and he hates it. He looks away, unable to meet the Dung Eater's gaze. He can't seem to find the words to defend himself anymore. The creature has broken through his facade of strength, exposing him for the thief he truly is.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, relishing the sight of Godric's humiliation. He takes a few more steps closer until he is standing right in front of the man. Ah, so you can't defend yourself anymore, can you? Your own words have betrayed you. You are a thief, a stealer of strength, no better than the lowest of gutter rats.
A rat caught in a trap. Yes, all right, I am a thief, but I am not a rat. I am a powerful lord, a demigod. I am more than simple rat.
The Dung Eater grins, his expression turning cruel. He takes a step closer so that he is inches away from Godric's face. Are you? You call yourself powerful, a demigod. But what does that make you, if not a thief who has stolen his power from others? You are not better than a rat, no. If anything, you are worse.
Godric is at a complete loss, his defenses shattered by the Dung Eater's words. He feels more humiliated than he ever has in his life. I never asked to be like this, damn you. I was a normal man once, just like any other. But when the world cast me out, when it made me what I am, what choice did I have but to take from others? I never asked for this life.
Hannes's laughter catches the attention of both Godric and the Dung Eater, and they both look at him confused.
What's so funny, the Dung Eater asks, his expression turning to one of mild annoyance.
Godric gives a start as Hannes starts to laugh from the side, the sound of his chuckles cutting through the tense air of the conversation.
He turns to look at him, confusion on his face. Godric's face twists into a frown, his annoyance growing. What's so funny? Care to share the joke with us, or are you just gonna keep cackling like a madman?
Hannes smiles, his expression amused and mischievous. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but laugh. You two were talking about rats, and it just reminded me of something funny that happened to me a while back.
Godric's frown deepens, his irritation growing. Well, care to share this funny thing that happened to you? Or are you going to keep us in suspense?
Ah, you want to hear the story? Very well, I will share it with you. You see, once upon a time, and everything was going great, Orson got surrounded by some rats. You can imagine what happened next.
Godric's frown fades, replaced by a look of disbelief. You died to rats? You died to some measly rats?
Hannes nods, his expression still amused. Yes, indeed, I died to some measly rats. Despite all my great strength and powerful weapons, they managed to take me down. It was quite embarrassing, I can assure you.
Godric and the Dung Eater both look at Hannes in disbelief, unable to wrap their minds around the fact that he, a legendary warrior who has defeated so many powerful foes, was defeated by something as lowly as rats.
That's right, I died to some damn rats. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it happened. I guess it just goes to show that even the mighty have their moments of weakness.
Godric and the Dung Eater exchange a look, still struggling to comprehend the absurdity of what they're hearing. But rats? Really? That's like the worst possible way to die, especially for someone like you.
still finding the whole situation comical. Oh, you have no idea how embarrassing it was. I was a well-known warrior, known for my strength and skill in battle. And then I was killed by some tiny little rats. It was humiliating, to say the least.
Godric and the Dung Eater both shake their heads, still struggling to wrap their heads around the story. Godric speaks up. But how? How did it happen? Were you wounded from the dragon or something?
Hannes chuckles, still finding the whole situation amusing. Yes, it's hard to believe, I know, but it happened. I was defeated by a horde of little ratty bastards. It was definitely a low point in my life, to say the least.
Godric and the Dung Eater finally shake their heads and laugh. Godric speaks with a hint of admiration. Well, I'll admit it, that is quite impressive. To die in the most ridiculous way possible. You got balls of steel for confessing to this?
What can I say? I'm not one to shy away from admitting my embarrassing moments. And dying to rats is certainly up there on the list of absurd ways to go out.
Godric and the Dung Eater both chuckling still and can't help but respect the man's honesty. Aye, I gotta hand it to you, that's quite the story. I think it's safe to say that nobody here's gonna be looking at a rat the same way again after hearing that, Godric said, still trying to keep a straight face.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. But anyway, let's run to your both discussion of yourself. Enough about me, haha.
Godric and the Dung Eater both nod in agreement. Right, let's move on from that and get back to our discussion.
Hannes nods in agreement. Indeed, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Alright, let's get back on track. So, you were just about to tell me something about me?
Godric looks at the Dung Eater, his expression hardening. We were discussing my methods.
Yes, your methods. More specifically, your habit of stealing strength from others.
I don't steal, damn you, I repurpose, I recycle. It's
Chuckles darkly, amused by Godric's denial. Ah, so you don't
heats up, his irritation growing with the creature's mocking tone. Yes, damn it! It belongs to me. I take it as my own, it becomes a part of me.
Ah, so you take the strength and it becomes a part of you. But what about those you take it from? Do they get a say in the matter? Or do you simply take it without their consent, making it yours through sheer willpower?
They don't get a say. They're weak, damn them. I'm stronger than them, so the strength belongs to me.
You claim they're weak, and that their strength belongs to you because you are stronger than them. But tell me, how did you become stronger than them in the first place? Could it be that you—
Hannes mentions don't act so height and mighty, Dung Eater. Let's talk about your habits of defilement.
Alright, let's go there.
Godric's face twists with disgust. Your habits? You mean that disgusting habit of defiling the dead? That filthy, horrific ritual you perform on any body of the dead you come across?
The Dung Eater shrugs, his expression nonchalant.
Oh yeah, all of my rituals.
But tell me, why not? Is it the desecration of corpses itself that bothers you? Or is it the fact that I find meaning and power in it?
Godric's face twists with anger, his disgust palpable. Both, damn you. It's not just the desecration of corpses, it's the perverse pleasure you take in it. It's the way you revel in the suffering you cause, the pain and anguish you bring with your...
The Dung Eater laughs darkly, his expression sadistic. My what? Say it, go on, say it. It is not only the desecration you object to, nor is it the fact that I derive pleasure from the act. The way I relish in defiling the dead, in causing pain and anguish. Say it.
Anger and revulsion twist Godric's face. Yes, damn you, it is disgusting to revel in such a vile act, to take pleasure in the suffering of others. It's unforgivable, despicable, abominable, monstrous.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, his expression amused by Godric's vehement outburst. Ah, so you hate it, despise it with all your soul. You find what I do unforgivable? Despicable, abhorrent, monstrous.
Godric's face twists with anger. Of course I hate it. How could anyone think otherwise? You defile the dead, you mutilate their bodies, and you take pleasure in causing suffering. It's barbaric, it's sick, it's...
Hannes says nonchalantly I just hate poop. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck.
Godric and the Dung Eater both look at Hannes with disbelief. You what? You hate poop?
The Dung Eater pauses, taken aback by Hannes' sudden interjection.
Shrugs nonchalantly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's just a preference thing, I guess.
The Dung Eater stares at him, still confused. A preference thing? You mean to tell me that you genuinely dislike poop?
Yeah, pretty much. Can't stand this stuff.
Dung Eater's expression turns to one of disbelief. Wait, so let me get this straight. You actually truly hate poop? Like the waste of bodily excrement? Just any old turd? You're not just playing around with me.
Hannes shrugs again, still as nonchalant as ever. Nah, I'm not messing with you. I'm completely serious. I just don't like poop. Never liked it. The smell, the texture, what it does to underwear, just never enjoyed it.
Dung Eater's expression remains one of bafflement, but there is a hint of amusement in his eyes as well. So, you're telling me that you hate the smell, the texture, and what it does to underwear? You mean to say that you have a genuine aversion to poop?
Hannes nods, still completely deadpan. Yeah, that's right. I've just never been a fan of any of it. I don't like dealing with it. I don't like being around it. I always try to avoid it whenever possible, and if I ever have to be around it... He pauses, considering his words for a moment before continuing. I guess the best term for it is disgust.
The Dung Eater stares at him for a moment, completely baffled. For a creature whose entire existence revolves around, well, dung, hearing someone express an aversion to it is nothing short of amazing. So, you avoid it, you hate being around it, and if you happen to be around it, you're disgusted by it. You actually think poop is disgusting?
Suddenly, Godric shuts it and asks, Wait. You said also that you don't give a fuck? Meaning Dung Eater's defilement?
Hannes gives a nonplussed shrug. Not really, I mean, I think it's weird and all, but I'm not really offended by it or anything.
Nods nonchalantly. Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, it grossed me out at first, but like, I've dealt with worse. In the end, it pretty much just registers as another weird thing some people are into, like, I don't know, pineapple pizza or something. It's weird, but I'm not gonna gap in arms about it just because I don't vibe with it.
The Dung Eater is genuinely taken aback by Hannes' nonchalance. He stares at him, unable to wrap his head around the fact that he has encountered someone who doesn't hate what he does. I have to ask, do you really mean it? You don't mind my defilement?
Godric and the Dung Eater look at him in disbelief. What? You mean you've done weirder stuff? Godric and the Dung Eater exchange a look of horror. What could you possibly have seen, done, to make this seem normal to you? What kind of situations? No, what kind of a person are you?
I'm just the guy, man. Nothing special, really. I've just seen some stuff.
Please, you have to tell us. It can't be worse than this depravity. What have you seen that makes the Dung Eater look like a normal guy?
Hannes pauses for a moment, considering the question. After a few moments, he lets out a small sigh and shrugs. All right, fine.
He pauses. Ever heard of the Lake of Rot?
Godric and the Dung Eater both look at him curiously. Really? I always thought it was the rot or the heat or something. Why? What's the real reason then?
He pauses. You see, the lake is infested, not just by rot. There are things in there.
Godric and the Dung Eater both look at him skeptically. Are you saying that there are things in the lake that defy reality and existence? You're talking about monsters beyond any understanding, things that shouldn't exist. What do you mean, great beasts? Monsters that have been long dead for centuries?
Hannes shakes his head, his expression grave. No, I mean things that should never have been here. Things that even the gods never intended. Things that should not be. Things whose very existence bends the very nature of reality around them. Things that simply put break the laws of nature, he pauses. Beings of pure incomprehensible wrongness.
It does sound like bullshit, doesn't it? But it's not. I've seen them, these things. Trust me, you haven't known true terror until you've stared into their eyes, watched them move, seen them twist and break and fold in on themselves in ways that are simply impossible. I could describe them to you, but trust me, it won't do them justice.
What if I told you that these things, these abominations, these wrong things were once human?
I'm able to control friendship flame as no one else could. So, let's return to the subject of simple defilement, made by Dung Eater, shall we?
Ah, yes. Very well then. Back to defiling.
Nods, eager to get back on the subject. Yes, please. Anything to get away from this topic. Godric looks at him, his face twisted with disapproval but also curiosity. He slowly nods. Yes, I want to know. I mean, I have a few theories, but I want to hear you say it.
The Dung Eater grins, his expression almost sinister. Very well then. You want to know why I defile, why I take their strength and make it my own?
Yes, I want to know.
Good, because this is the truth. Listen, and listen well, for I will not repeat myself. I simply enjoy it.
Godric's face twists into one of horror. You just enjoy it? There's no purpose, no reason why you do it other than pleasure?
The Dung Eater nods, his expression almost maniacal. That's right, pleasure. It brings me great pleasure. The act itself, the sense of power, the feeling of strength and conquest, the knowledge that my enemies, even in death, still serve me. All of them, all the things that come from this simple act, I enjoy them. I relish them. I get off on them, so to speak.
Godric is stunned into momentary silence. You enjoy the act of defiling the dead? You get pleasure from committing an act that is utterly profane and perverse? You relish in such an act?
The Dung Eater grins again. I do. I take great pleasure in it. Defiling the dead is not just a habit, it's a hobby, a pastime, if you will. It's not just the act itself that I enjoy, it's the whole process, the ritual, the intimacy, I suppose you could say. I'm willing to wager there's a few things you enjoy yourself. Am I right?
Godric stares in disbelief, unable to comprehend the sheer depravity of this creature before him. He takes a step back as the creature moves closer to him. I enjoy many things, but not this. Never this. This hobby of yours is beyond depraved. It's wrong, it's sick, it's repulsive. Hell, it's disgusting. Godric and the Dung Eater both turn to see one of the soldiers attacking them. What the hell? Godric mutters as he dodges the attack. What the hell are you doing? Stop it!
The Dung Eater and Godric quickly turn to face the soldier, surprised but not taken aback. The soldier charged them, attacking with a shield, but the Dung Eater and Godric quickly dodge out of the way and begin throwing their own punches. Eventually, the soldier, overwhelmed by their fury, falls to the ground, unconscious. Both of them turn back to each other, panting softly, slightly breathless from the unexpected fight.
Godric and the Dung Eater both catch their breath, panting heavily from the unexpected fight. After a moment, Godric looks at the Dung Eater. Did you see that? What was that soldier thinking? Attacking us like that, out of the blue?
Dung Eater chuckles, a little amused. Ha! I don't know, the poor bastard was probably an idiot, or a madman. Either way, he wasn't a very good fighter. Lucky us, eh?
Lucky indeed, Godric mutters, still a little dazed from the fight. But what was he thinking? To attack us like that in broad daylight with no warning at all, it's insane.
The Dung Eater shrugs, a little nonchalant. Who knows? Maybe he was just itching for a fight, or maybe he's just completely daft. Either way, I think we'll be fine. He was just a common soldier, hardly a worthy threat.
Godric nods, still breathing heavily. Yes, I suppose you're right. Just a common soldier. His expression darkens as he looks at the unconscious soldier. But why? Why attack us like that? It's like he had a death wish or something.
The Dung Eater shrugs again. He glances at the soldier's crumpled form on the ground. Who knows? Maybe he was a madman, or a traitor, or just some stupid kid who wanted to prove himself a hero. Either way, he was an idiot, and he got what was coming to him.
Godric nods, reluctantly agreeing with the Dung Eater. Yes, I suppose you're right, he was an idiot, and he got what was coming to him. But still, the whole thing just... it seems strange, doesn't it? That he would attack us out of the blue like that.
The Dung Eater shrugs again, clearly bored by the topic. It's not that strange. Crazies and fools are a dime a dozen these days. You're probably just reading too much into it. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I doubt we'll see that moron again.
Godric sighs, still feeling a little uneasy. Yes, I suppose you're right. The man was probably just a madman or a fool. But still, it's unsettling, isn't it? The thought that someone, for no apparent reason, would attack us like that. It feels somehow...
Well, welcome to the lands between. This world is full of danger and treachery around every corner. If some random soldier attacking you is the most unsettling thing you've encountered, consider yourself lucky.
And thus, Hannes shall bring end to this conversation. I want to thank you both for your time. This has been truly one of the most special occasions.
Godric and the Dung Eater both turn to look at Hannes, slightly taken aback by his interruption. However, Godric quickly regains his composure. What was that, Jester? What do you mean, you allowed us to meet like this?
Godric and the Dung Eater both turn to look at Hannes, surprised by the sudden interruption. Godric, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? What do you want then?
Hannes simply smiles, unfazed by the surprise in their voices. He takes a few steps forward, his gaze flicking from Godric to the Dung Eater. That's right. I was the one who made this little meeting possible. I wanted the two of you to have this little conversation.
Godric and the Dung Eater look at each other, confused and bewildered. Godric speaks up first, his tone cautious. You wanted us to talk? Why? What could you possibly have to gain from this?
Gain? No, I don't have anything to gain from this. I simply thought it would be interesting. You two have such intriguing perspectives. I wanted to see what would happen if you two connected.
Godric's face twists into an expression of unease. I see. So you mean that you simply wanted to, what, observe us? Watch us talk like we're some kind of experiment?
Experiment? No, I wouldn't say that. More like an observation, like watching a play or a particularly interesting story.
Godric looks at Hannes with skepticism. Fascinating, huh? Well, I'm glad to know that our conversation has been entertaining to you. But I still don't understand why you felt the need to bring us together. What did you hope to gain from this? What purpose does this little observation serve?
Do you see that great long-haired knight over there? Go fist fight with that, without weapons, please.
Godric, you want us to fight, unarmed? The Dung Eater against a knight? Are you insane?
Godric and the Dung Eater both turn their gaze to where Hannes is pointing, where a large, imposing knight can be seen. The Dung Eater looks a bit confused, but Godric seems intrigued at the challenge. Godric, you want us to take on that knight? With no weapons?
The Dung Eater grimaces and shakes his head. The Dung Eater, are we really going to engage in this insanity? This is folly. That knight is a seasoned warrior. He probably wields a colossal weapon. We'll be utterly destroyed if we try to fight him with our bare hands.
Godric, meanwhile, seems to almost relish the idea. Godric, nonsense. What better way to end this than with some good old-fashioned fisticuffs? Besides, he looks strong. I've always wanted to test my mettle against a real, proper warrior.
The Dung Eater looks at Godric in shock. The Dung Eater, you're actually serious? You want to fight that knight with nothing but your fists?
Godric smiles, a glint of determination in his eyes. He starts to roll up the sleeves of his golden surcoat, revealing muscular arms. I do. Come on, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The knight is clad in gleaming silvery armor, his body covered in shining plate. He stands at least a head taller than either of them, and a great sword at his waist gleams like a cold moon.
The sight of the towering knight causes Godric to hesitate, suddenly realizing the foolishness of his rash decision. The knight eyes them with a cold, impassive gaze. The Dung Eater, though intimidated, seems determined to see this through.
Godric and the Dung Eater stare at the imposing figure before them. There is a tense and ominous silence. Godric swallows, his bravado fading as the enormity of what he's agreed to sets in. But the Dung Eater, his face set with a grimace, takes a step forward.
It seems that Godric got himself actually killed and also Dung Eater.
The knight is indeed a formidable foe, and both Godric and the Dung Eater are quickly overwhelmed by his strength and skill. Godric tries his best to hold his own, but the knight's attacks are too swift and powerful for him.
Godric lays on the ground, panting and bruised. He looks at the knight with a mixture of defiance and defeat. Damn it, we were overconfident.
Hannes approaches them, a faint smirk on his face. And so, the show has come to an end. Thank you both for participating in this little experiment of mine. It was quite entertaining, if I do say so myself.